I think that's interesting too. I'd be worried about how many people on the streets would pick up torches and spades and try and get their own blood spilled to defend their homes, but if the guard is displaced...
I'm uncomfortable with allowing the orcs to actually enter the city gates. There's no telling what they might do, but if we could negotiate with them and without actually letting them into the city, bloodshed might be avoided.
I mean, I was under the impression that the Pale Moon prides itself on being able to take cities without needing to shed blood. I think, I mean, it really depends on what kind of fight the city puts up, doesn't it?
It depends on if they make an example of themselves.
As for any commoners with pitchforks and torches, I think they would probably take up arms against the orcs no matter whether or not there were guards still there. Is finding a way to evacuate the city the route we want to try to go?
The wealthy noble class may be quicker to surrender if a number of their watch have left. And they could make a payment in their surrender without actually opening the gates and letting the orcs inside.
True.
So it feels like we're kind of coming to a little bit of a stalemate here. The ideas that I've heard are help to evacuate the city, and then actually that's kind of all I've heard. Did I miss any other?
Well, it's not a general evacuation of the city. I think it's a opening up a route for the guards to flee, given that their morale is low.
And then using that as leverage against the nobles to suggest that they're not in any position to defend themselves.
Okay. We can go that route. Let's see. So you've got your information about this slave trade down below. You've got this connection now to the Sacred Hand. I think those are the only leads we have to go on, and either of those might be useful in this, or we can try and find another way to put our toe in the door. What are you guys wanting to do?
I got a question, a kind of clarifying question. Has the Phoenix cohort, other than our group, do they have the same orders that we do, or are they in the blind on this?
So the vast majority, pretty much the whole of the cohort, is marching alongside the Pale Horde.
Okay.
Yeah, so their orders are, regular marching orders. Some of them are scouting ahead, some of them are making and breaking camp every day, et cetera, et cetera.
Right, okay. I don't see much hope for... if the city tries to defend itself, I think it'll result in a very bad end.
Agreed.
Completely agreed.
So if we weaken their defenses so that they don't even consider that option, it may actually be in their best interest. But we could also see what influence we can have with the council to hasten the negotiations of a surrender. See if there's anyone that would be opposed to surrendering and try to sway them.
as far as I'm aware, we have the lead with the Sacred Hand with regards to possibly influencing the council. And we don't have a lead as to how to otherwise weaken the city's defenses. So maybe we just follow the lead we have.
I think that makes sense. Does anyone have an idea on how we get more ships to the city that could be used to evacuate guards?
Yeah. I've barely been on a boat in my life. I'm sorry, I don't know how the shipping works.
There may be a hidden escape route under the city, but
similar to ours.
Well, yes. There's almost certainly a labyrinthine network of tunnels under the city. From everything I can tell, we haven't explored the half of it. So, I don't know.
If we feel confident that the orcs can control themselves within the city, we could allow them inside through those tunnels.
Not through our
That's
back
an
door,
interesting
one of the
idea.
other ones.
I think that would accomplish our orders most effectively. Shall we investigate the tunnels then?
Let's do that.
I'm more comfortable investigating tunnels than playing political games in a council of merchants.
Same.
Cool.
Besides, I've been wanting to explore those tunnels more thoroughly for a while now. So
then are you guys pretty much going down into the one tunnel you have? Because I know we said that there are some passages that have blocked off, and you guys are just going to try and find a way from Old Vareg out into the mainland. Is that right?
yeah, I think so.
Out of character, you guys probably covered this before I was here. What is last I left off, I was with Marquis. So where did we part ways?
So we said you guys made it back, and Marquis is just taking the next few days and/or weeks laying low because she stabbed a town guard right in the public. So
Also, really hungover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a long-lasting hangover.
No dwarf.
Still boozing it up over hating her orders.
Fair enough. Well, we will do the dirty work then.
Yeah. So yeah, I know there are a couple of blocked passages we know of in the tunnels beneath our building. Should we see if we can find a way past those? Or if there's another way into the tunnels somewhere else in the city, or...
Yeah, so I'm pulling up the map here for everybody to look at again.
So the tunnels, I was going to say they would have to cross under that body of water that separates the north and the south of the city if they were going to allow, I don't know. I mean, they could maybe that's a shallow body of water right there, and there is tunnels under it. But
yeah, we don't actually know how deep that body is.
There could be a whole separate network of tunnels, though, in the southern city, and we don't. Seems very possible, so we could investigate that.
And I don't even think we would need to enable their whole army to be here. If the emissaries of the Pale Moon were able to stroll right into the keep, I think that would be a pretty convincing show of both force and tactics to show Vareg that capitulating would be the better of the plans.
Yeah.
So if they can find a way from the central harbor, that's probably going to serve their ends just as well.
So can you guys see this crosshair?
Yep. That's
Okay.
our.
Yeah, that's where you guys are at. So this this area right here is deep enough for like sailing ships to come through.
Right.
So if there was a tunnel that went from here to there,
Be that deep.
Very deep.
it's unlikely, but it would be very deep. You guys would probably have better luck going to New Vareg and for some kind of connection, some kind of tunnel way or something that comes from here in.
Could I see if among the dwarves in the city I know, see if any of them have any knowledge of, maybe they've done work engineering or repairing parts of the city, that maybe they have some knowledge of parts of the underground that not everyone is aware of.
Yeah, that's really good thinking. Yeah, why don't you roll your charisma, and we'll see who you're able to meet. A clan member will serve you better, but another dwarf may be able to give you the information you need. And did you get the roll for your party link?
Yes, I think I did it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was a fail. Did anyone else roll a 1 and a 4 recently?
Last roll was a 5. That was you.
Yeah. Okay.
And you missed your charisma, right?
I believe I'm at a 0 mod on the charisma.
Okay. All right. So this is what we'll do then. So you're poking around. I know we said that you did have one contact from your clan. Maybe you went and talked to him. Did we name him? I think we did. All we said is that he's a member of the Frosthammer clan.
Yeah, I don't think we've named him.
Okay. Anyway, so talking to him, he hasn't done any of that work, although he mentions like that would have been the kind of work he was looking for. That's the stuff he does. He knows about. And he's not 100% sure of any other dwarves who have. It seems like, especially in New Vareg, all of those kinds of projects are really closely watched by the Mason clan, or the Mason guild.
And is the Mason Guild human primarily, or other?
I mean, it reflects Toon Vareg. It's got a pretty good mix, but I think Toon Vareg itself is primarily human, maybe 60%.
Continue.
Happens probably right after you're leaving his house. Is you guys hear the town criers out, and they're saying, "It's the day before election day, the day before the new moon. Tomorrow we will place in our honorable seat a new leader. With the Pale Moon Horde advancing, a new frontrunner has become apparent. Antonia of the warrior clans, supported by the kingdom of Minotas, has taken a fair lead against both the Commerce Guild and the Masonry Guild." So there's a little bit of information for you what's going on politically.
Can I? What do I know about the her and or the Warriors Guild?
Well, I'm sure you would have learned something or other. Let's probably a spout lore, and you can get your +1 for being military based.
All right, just gonna roll the base dice.
Without any skill, I know that sounds like a dangerous turn of events if she is to be elected.
Yeah, I think I rolled a 10, so plus some mods.
Cool. So you're going to get something interesting and useful immediately. So as was hinted, she's being backed by the sister city, Tun Minotas, which is not always in the best, uh, best political relationship with Tun Vareg. Tun Vareg is seen as more snobbish, more rich, where Minotas, they work for everything they have. They're kind of built on swampland, and so they've had to do a lot of work to just clear it to have any kind of farming and such. The one more interesting thing, and probably the useful thing, is their king there is known as Vaklova. He recently returned from kind of a quest. Each of the kings of that city, before they can become king, have to go on a quest and prove themselves as mighty men of valor, basically. And so you know that he is a capable warrior, and he's backing this insider now in Tun Vareg.
I would like to cast a spell on one of my books, and if it works well, I'm going to just drop it on the street corner near the town crier with the pages fluttering in the wind. The spell is so that the rustling of the pages, no matter what the crier is actually saying, people will hear that Antonia is actually trying to sell us out on behalf of Minotas.
Ooh, I like this.
Reroll selected. 11 plus mods, and that keys off my good one. So here we go.
Cool. All right, so on a 10 plus, your spell will help to solve the problem, but choose 2 or let me choose 1.
The spell is much more effective than I intended it to be and bears unforeseen side effects. No, it saps my energy. So I pour a whole lot into this one of my books and drop it on the street corner beside her, or him, the town crier.
Okay. Hold on, just to make sure I understood. You said much more or much less, or did you want to do the unforeseen side effect?
I'm going to go with much more.
Okay. Well, so it's much more or much less. That's defined by me. We'll go with the much more side effect, though. So not only is the town crier saying this, but everybody who comes within a few feet of the book, they just start rambling about her, and not pleasant things, not things that I'm willing to repeat on stream. Kind of, it's a lot like the things that Marquis was saying last session.
That's good. They don't have to come out of my mouth, though. It's everyone's deep, dark instincts about her.
Yeah.
I just whistle as I stroll back to the group, and I hear people behind me start to mumble. I'm like, just back to Get and
Nice.
and Dergrim.
So, Ged and Avon, if I recall correctly, the Pale Horde in the past has been known to turn neighboring states against each other. We should be aware that Tun Minotas could be aligned with them or could not be.
Yeah, oh yeah, dealing in facts, it's totally possible one way or the other.
You would think Ishtar would have mentioned something like that.
He is truly helpful with his advice.
Yeah.
Well, so half a second of table talk. Information travels slowly, so I know he kind of like called you guys through the mirror, but this is the ancient world for all intents and purposes. Things may have happened in the last 24 hours that you guys have no idea about with the Horde and the rest of the cohort.
Sure, but I would think it would take longer than that to, like, plant a rival political candidate and have that political candidate seeing some success.
Yeah, good thinking. Good thinking.
Perhaps.
Well, so to avoid some kind of paralysis here, we found out that the Masonry clan would be, or the Masonry guild would probably be the only one who would have information about any tunnel systems in New Vareg. And I think that's as far as your clan role got you guys. Are you guys still planning on pursuing that?
Yes.
Let's talk to some Masons.
Perhaps we can. I can go talk of the Masons, and one or both of you can do some snooping around, see if you can find any maps or plans of the city that might reveal something.
Sounds good to me.
Would you like me to come with you while you go have your chat?
Yes, you're welcome. I will go to the Masons and start talking to them about, I guess, strike up conversation about wanting to know about the city's walls and its defenses, and just try to get some conversation going and see what opportunities present themselves.
Cool. I think the first interesting obstacle here. I see. Are you guys all going in together, or are you going in to create a distraction for the other two?
Whatever. I'll leave it up to the two of you to. How do you feel that you could best snoop around?
Well, I know that one of us.
I do have the power to go.
Distraction and.
I do have the power to go ghost, also. I mean, not invisible, but like walk through walls and stuff.
And as I was about to say, I know one of us could pretend to be a ghost, and it's not me.
Yes. Okay.
Can you make me look more ghosty, Avon?
Oh, like chains and like a bed sheet?
I mean, you can just dress up for the occasion.
Oh, but okay. Like a bit of a glamour or something like that. Yeah,
I just mean they might be a little more suspicious if they see a gnome covered in weird gadgets being ghost-like instead of what people think ghosts look like, whatever that is.
Yeah, I'll help you
Maybe
out with
just
that.
make it like, make me look like their worst fear or something.
See how that goes. Will you be getting into costume outside the guild, or are we going to have to find a closet to put this on you?
Outside the guild, right? The ectoplasmic reversal suit?
Mm-hmm. You're up talking at the end of the name, so it sounds like a no, and I'm very excited.
It's been laboratory and workshop tests. I've yet to field test it, so this would be a great opportunity.
This isn't just me fretting and looking excited about it. It's Avon, too.
Okay, so it sounds like Dergrim's going in the front door, and then you're going to ghost through one of the walls and hope you find a map room. Is that right?
I thought we were talking about me pretending to be a ghost to distract people.
We can't all be distractions.
You're creating a distraction for Dergrim.
I'm unclear on what we're doing now.
So the plan was I was going to create a distraction for you to snoop around. If you would like to create a distraction for me to snoop around, totally fine with that.
No, I'll snoop around.
But we can make you look like a ghost, so if anyone does see you,
they'll just be like,
you're not just a phantasmal gnome. Yes, you're a ghost.
It may be to our advantage not to let people know that there's a member of the Phoenix cohort that can walk through walls.
Good point. Take my cloak off. Nothing else. Like,
Good.
Gonna leave that at the HQ.
Cool. So let's do Dergrim's opening scene, and then I'll call to you guys when it's appropriate to start ghosting and sneaking. So Dergrim, I think the first interesting obstacle for you is trying to get an appointment with anybody who matters, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll do a little scene with the secretary out front, and it happens to be a dwarf. I don't know if that's good or bad for you. So he pushes up his glasses and he says, "You're here to see whom?"
I need to speak with someone about the walls. They're insufficient for the attack to come.
And you're going to add 5 feet to them all around in the next day?
No, but there's areas that need to be reinforced.
Who are you again?
I'm Dergrim, and I have great experience with such things. I am a warrior by trade, but I've spent my whole life working stone.
As have I. Well, what do you have to offer to help me find an appointment for you?
What can I be of service with? What are your challenges, good sir?
Well, I have a wife and kids at home, and my wife, she's got a spending habit. I think she was going to buy a new dress this weekend. Maybe help with that.
Of course. She needs to be looking her finest. This could be the last opportunity we have to show off a dress. I'll take 5 coin, pass it his way.
Okay. So go ahead. That'll give you a +1 towards a charisma roll, because you were willing to bribe him.
I'm going to clear these dice and then roll.
Oh, goodness. I gotta stop asking for charisma rolls from you. All right, let's cut away to our other friends. So last you saw, it's been maybe 5-10 minutes. Dergrim's been inside. Are you guys watching him closely, or are you acting kind of independently at this point?
I think we would have been standing near-ish the door to see how things went.
Trying to ascertain when is best to go in. So do you want to make me look like a ghost or not?
Yeah. Let's see how this goes. So I reach through the fabric of reality and try and pull some of the ectoplasm out, so it's not just an effect, it's actually wrapping him in ghost stuff. Submit. We've got 9 on the dice plus my skill, so we're into 10 range. I will let the GM choose my side effect.
All right, we're playing dangerously. All right, cast a spell. Magic.
Sorry, just to keep myself honest, I had a -1 from being exhausted, and I'm still safe for now. I haven't forgot about that.
I think it would be kind of interesting if we do the -1 to cast a spell again.
I am writing a big -2 in a box on my page.
Cool. All right, so yeah, you're looking very, very ghosty good. What are you doing now that you're disguised?
I presume they have I don't know, where would they hold maps and stuff? Do we have any idea of that?
Yeah, I'll give you a general description. So it's a fairly large lobby area, kind of like imagine like a fancy bank. You know, they're definitely out to show off their skill. Lots of stone, lots of carvings and such. There's 2 hallways. So if there's the secretary, and either side of him, maybe 5-10 feet from either side, there's 2 wide hallways that go back. I mean, you see doors down either hallway, but nothing distinguishing from where you're at.
Probably should just made me invisible instead, huh? Whoops.
We said ghost. We did ghost.
I know.
Go get him, kiddo.
Well,
Okay.
we can fudge with the location a little bit too, because you guys just barely got this description of the building. So if you want to say you were near one of the hallways, that's totally okay with me.
Yeah, I mean, I would think I'd want to have, like, some vague idea of where to sneak into before ghosting it up.
Cool. So you're looking around the room for like a directory or anything of that sort?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right, let's have a discern realities.
Okay. Oh, wait, that's confusing. Okay. That's 6 plus my wisdom, which is 0.
Oh.
Oh, goodness.
Um,
You guys are the opposite of my other group. My other group is always in the thick of things, and they never roll poorly. And you guys are always away from danger.
and I missed the opportunity to legitimately say that I was helping with that. Godspeed you.
You find a little placard that gives a description, and one of the departments there is archives, and it's room 204.
Okay. Second floor, damn. That's fine. And do I have a vague idea of where 204 is in the building, or just second floor? I don't know if it's that big also.
The nearest door to you is 101, and the one after that is 102. So you can tell they're sequential, but yeah, you're right. It's going to be on the second floor. So
okay. Let me see.
Can you climb through floors?
I think that would require a roll of some sort at the very least. Like the thing with my ghost suit is that it lets me walk through walls and doors, and I don't have to use a field test roll to do that. Just for its listed movement method. I think I'm going to try to scale the building from the outside to the second floor, and right such that I would end up like on the wall outside where I believe room 204 is. And then I would activate my ghost suit and just go in.
cool. Let's get a defy danger with intelligence on that, and then we're going to cut back over to Dergrim.
Yeah. Avon is like holding themselves against the wall, dry heaving, but they take a break to help boost you up a little bit.
That's a 9 plus 2, 11.
Sweet.
So I successfully climb, and then I turn the little switch on my, I think, lapel that activates the ectoplasmic reversal suit, and I turn kind of turquoise and transparent. and then I walk through the wall.
Cool. Is it like Ghostbusters where you leave kind of like a little bit of slime behind, or?
No, I think it's completely like just as if there were nothing there.
Cool. Okay, let's go back to Dergrim. All right, so last we saw, you offered him 5 coin. He's gonna say, "I told you, my wife," and he takes off his glasses, "has fine taste. What about that little pin of yours? Would you part with that?" And he's talking about your cohort pin.
Afraid this has to be earned.
Well, as far as I can tell, everybody's booked solid the next few days, probably until this Horde gets here or so. Anything else? Anything else you need from me?
Well, and I imagine their schedules will be quite clear when the Horde breaks through the walls and kills them all.
You're very funny.
Just kind of give the man a stern look, but could I see from where I was what scanning the wall, or was that on like the other side of the building?
I think you saw him kind of like wandering through the lobby. You may have seen him reading a sign or something, and you saw them both exit back out. I think they've gone far enough down the hallway that you wouldn't have seen them even from a window climbing up.
Okay. All right. I'll leave. Stop talking to this guy, but maybe go try to find Avon to see what's going on.
Cool. Are you going to try and pick up that 5 coin you put on the table?
Yeah.
He quickly puts his hand over the top of it. I thought this was a gift.
It was an offer for services in kind, but you've delivered me no services.
And he snaps his fingers, and immediately from around the corner, 2 guards come in. One a dwarf, one an orc, both in heavy armor, halberds in hand. "Is there a problem, sir?"
I look to the guards and I say, this dishonest dwarf is trying to steal my gold.
And that is not what I expected.
That's a big one.
He takes his hand off the gold and he says, "You can keep whatever you leave with." And the 2 guards start advancing on you.
I just kind of shake my head and say, it's not much gold to die over, but if you insist.
Are you standing your ground? That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. Can I just swipe the gold off the table at this point? Or I don't know. Does he still have his hand over it?
Yeah, he's exposed it, so you could grab it. But the guards are close enough; they may be able to engage you. Kind of table talk. If you were to just run, you're pretty safe here. Any other action will probably require some kind of a roll.
Avon's kind of outside the front door and just looking around the corner, just like, oh no. Seeing what's going on inside, but her hands are inside her robes looking for her spell focus as this is all happening.
So I think the difficult choice here is do I run or do I try to take the gold? I'm with them watching me, do I have an idea of what they expect me to do? The battle of wits?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's good thinking. Let me just skim it real quick to make sure I give you the right kind of information. Okay, so The dwarf seems classically trained in dwarfish fighting. You're welcome to define that however you want. You're the dwarf. The orc expects you to do something stupid. So you tell me, what does the dwarf expect you to do? Because the orc is expecting you to be greedy and try and grab it.
Yeah, I think the dwarf is expecting the same because even though it's not a lot of gold, it's a matter of honor, and running from a fellow dwarf would be pretty dishonorable.
Cool. So they're both expecting you to grab it. Does that change your mind?
Man, I think I even knowing they're expecting it, I think.
Do you want a minute to think?
I want my gold. I'll go. Yeah, give me a minute, I guess. If you
we can cut together. Yeah, this escalated quickly, guys.
I was not expecting this.
All right.
Seems to be a recurring theme with us.
Yeah. All right, Ged, you have ectoplasmed your way into this room. It's pretty dusty, lots of shelves, lots of primarily scrolls. You know that cross-hatching where they've got a bunch of scrolls all on the wall? It's kind of like that, and there's shelf on shelf on shelf on shelf on shelf. It's maybe 20 by 20 room at max, maybe even a little smaller than that. From where you're at, the entrance is blocked, and you don't see any people in here.
All right, I think I'm just going to start looking through things, trying to find maps, trying to find if there's some sort of organizational system to aid that search. But barring that, just trying not to make too much of a mess, but just looking through all these scrolls and stuff.
Cautiously rummaging. Cool. None of your special gears would help with that, right?
I don't think so, unless you think I could like explode steam onto the scrolls and make them all unfurl at once.
Really, to me. No. Okay. So then, let's have a discern realities.
Yep, I'm super good at that. Oh, hey, that's a 10.
Cool. So you get 3 questions.
Right. Okay. What here is useful or valuable to me?
You find a drawer probably labeled maps, and one of the maps seems to be a tunnel system under New Vareg.
Okay. What should I be on the lookout for?
The person who upkeeps the room you're in.
And what here is not what it appears to be?
You see on table near the front door. You've gone around this room enough that you can see the door now. Nobody's in the room at this moment. In the door, there's a table. It looks like a drafting table or something, and there's a set of very fine-looking drafting tools. So the compass and maybe some charcoal pens and that sort of thing. That is not exactly what it appears to be. What do you do?
I'm going to take that map and also, take a closer look at these drafting tools. Something about them has caught my eye.
Cool. As you take your first steps directly towards them, let's say you're 5 paces away now, you start to hear the door be unlocked from the exterior. What do you do?
I'm gonna go back into ghost mode and go back out the way I came.
Cool. Okay. Yes.
Just probably hold on to the outside of the wall, out of sight, for a little bit before climbing down.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna kind of like sit there and make sure, see if you can catch a glimpse of him so that he's not like looking out the window.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Well, we'll let you get away with that. That all sounds
okay.
Cool without a die roll. Now that may help Dergrim and Avon. You know what's going to happen in the next few minutes to your friend out of table. Or out of character, sorry. So Dergrim, I think you were deciding whether to pick up the coins or
what else, if anything, is on the table?
He's got a ledger, obviously keeping and making appointments, maybe an inkwell.
Well, my thought is, trying to create some further distraction for Ged. So I think I'm going to kind of feint to go for the gold, but I actually just want to shove the table and try to topple this dwarf backwards.
Sweet. You're pushing that into not the guards, but the...
If the guards are there, that would be ideal. I don't know exactly the positioning of the guards, but it would be great. Yeah, I mean, if I could position it to push them as well, I would do that.
I think if you like grab it and kind of flip to the side, because they're coming around the table, they're coming from one of those hallways. So, yeah, okay. Let's have a... I think that's probably strength. Let's see, defy this danger with strength there.
Okay.
Are the blue ones yours?
I haven't rolled yet.
Oh, okay.
Rolling now. I'm still confused on which ones did I just roll, but
it will tell you what the last roll was.
Yeah.
And the last roll total came up with 5.
I'm gonna uncheck sort dice because that adds to the confusion.
So I've got a +1 mod on the strength, and I've got a +1 mod from the cautious tactic. I wrote it as my default tactic.
Oh yeah, nice. So you got a 7 then. All right, so I'm gonna give you a hard choice. You can either, as you're flipping the table, you realize you're gonna either be able to knock one of the guards completely over, or you're gonna be able to knock both of them backwards, but they'll still be on their feet.
Let's knock one of them completely over, and then I'll face down the other one and try to intimidate him into backing down.
Cool. I'm going to disclaim responsibility for which one, so I'm going to just do a random 1, 2, 3. It's the dwarf. Reroll selected. All right, so you knocked the orc full on over. The dwarf is a couple paces away from you. Or I'll remind you again, he's got halberd, heavy armor, and he is gonna get you. Avon, I think you were by the doorway, so if you want to act at any point in this, just holler out, okay?
Just so I'm clear, are these guild member, they're in-house guards that are coming through the hallways and not city guards?
These are 5 times fancier than the city guards that you guys have.
So as I come leaning around the corner, I'm going to try and wrap myself in the image of one of the city guards and actually come around the corner as like a 6-foot tall Amazon looking woman who just fills the doorway with like a shitty pot helm and everything like that.
Okay.
We'll see how well that goes. I'm going to grab the green dice to match my character. Reroll selected. Well, that's a 4, and I'm rolling flat because of my -2 right now from all this. So, your call, boss.
Okay.
Avon comes around the corner. That part is for sure.
Okay. And I think what you just look like you, but what your illusion did is you were thinking about like a really big, powerful Amazon-looking woman. What it did is it did that to your brooch. So your little insignia for the pale moon, or for the cohort is like looks larger and like very shiny, extremely recognizable. So they definitely have identified you all as the ones causing the disturbance.
Not here to make friends anyway.
Yeah.
Look down sheepishly. I'm just here to get my friend. I heard he's causing trouble in here.
And the dwarf screams out, "He sure is," as his pike starts moving towards you, Dergrim. What are you doing?
I'm gonna try to duck his blow and just give him a kind of a bash with my shield to try to knock him onto the ground. I don't want to deliver a lethal blow necessarily, but I'm trying to. Yeah, I guess I'll hit him with the shield as hard as I can.
Okay. That sounds like probably defy danger with your constitution.
Okay. So I'm going to try this other method. You guys said I could select the dice and then... Okay. So 5 plus 2 con plus 1 tactic. So 8.
Awesome. I'm going to give you another hard choice. So either he's going to be stunned by your blow, which will give you guys the time to skedaddle, and he'll get a hit in on you, or you're going to completely block his attack with your shield, but he's going to be ready for a fight still.
I'll stun him.
Cool. Yeah, give us the fiction. What does that look like?
So as he's coming in at me with the pike, instead of using my shield, I raise my shield as if I was blocking his blow, but I just lunge into him and hit him hard with the shield that he's not expecting it, and I do leave myself open for his spear to pass by my shield and potentially do some damage, but I give him a solid bash in the face with my shield that leaves him seeing stars.
Cool. Go ahead and take a D8 damage.
Rolled a 2, is that correct?
I didn't see it pop up. Yes. Cool. So you're not going to take any damage from this. Maybe it glances off your helmet or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you guys have the opening to skedaddle if you want to. Is that what you're going to do, or are you going to keep on engaging these guys? The orc is beginning to stand up, by the way.
I'm waving him out the door.
Yeah, if there's an opportunity to pick up gold and or a ledger on my way out, I'll do that. But otherwise, I'm just gonna run.
That'll require a roll. I'll just say that much.
I'll roll for
it. Cool. And Ged, about this time, you're turning the corner, so you're within sight of Avon, and you see her ushering. I think that's based on your quickness and your dexterity.
Yeah.
That up off the ground, because it's flown everywhere too.
Yeah. All right. Not my best trait.
Oh no!
So close. All right. So the +1 negates my -1, but I'm still at a 6.
Yeah. All right. So this is what happens. The dwarf is still kind of recovering from that smash to the face. The orc comes behind you though. Are you getting on your hands and knees, or are you just kind of like trying to scoop this up on your feet?
I think I was just trying to scoop it up as I ran.
Okay. So you probably like fumble with the ledger. But he gets his halberd, and not the sharp end, but he's going to trip you up, and you're going to kind of slide towards the door. So you're still much closer to Avon than you were before, but he's right behind you, raising his halberd to smash into you.
I'll stand in defense. Like I'll get my staff out to just wedge against the floor and block the halberd as it's coming down, so he can get out the door underneath me.
Ooh, that is very dramatic. I love it. Roll plus your Constitution. Let's see how well you defend.
Not my forte. Submit. Give me 2 green dice here. That's a 4 + 0.
Here.
I want you out the door though, so that's what counts.
Okay. You're gonna take a D8. You're gonna take the full brunt of this halberd. It's not gonna like break your staff, but your staff buckles and it hits you like in the shoulder.
Well, I grabbed the wrong dice initially. I rolled the D10s, and I came up with a 10, so this does not bode well. You said a D8 is better, right?
Yep. D8.
Okay, I'll take 4.
Cool.
With no armor.
Yep.
I'm not built for this.
Yeah, so that seems pretty bad. Gad, you can appear in the doorway now if you want. The dwarf is shaking off whatever happened to him, and he's starting to try and catch up to the rest of you all. So, Gad, what are you doing as you see your friends here?
I think I might just want to stay out of sight. Probably not make this situation worse than it already is.
Are you sneaking off to home, or are you going to stay with
I'm going to stay and make sure things don't get really dire.
Okay.
But you guys seem all right.
All right, Dergrim, last we saw you were kind of skidding on your armor. You could be on your feet by now because the bravery of Avon took a blow for you and gave you the time to get back into the fight. What are you wanting to do?
I'm not pleased with them striking my ally, but so I'm going to tell Avon to run, and at the same time I will cover his retreat if they try to attack him again. I'm going to stand in his defense.
Yep, that's a great plan, boss.
Sounds great. So let's get a roll from each of you. Avon, I assume you're running?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Let's get a roll from each of you with your appropriate stat. So Dex for Avon and Constitution for defense for Dergrim.
Okay.
No, the dice got cleared out. Let's give me 2 green dice again. 6 plus Dex is 7.
So this is Defy Danger con, or no, this is a defend roll.
That's with your con.
So I think I have a 6 because I roll a 4 and I have a 2 con.
Oh my goodness. Is that like 5 fail rolls in a row for you?
I think there's been some successes mixed in, but it's not been good. It's not been good.
It's platinum sombrero
for sure. All right, Avon, you get clear. Let's say the downside is you've got to choose something in your haste that you drop. I don't care what it is. You could pick whatever you feel like makes sense fictionally. Dergrim, goodness. You're just going to take the damage for both of them, so it's a D8 plus 1.
Good.
And just to add a tiny bit to it, is this dwarf has started coming around you. So you're not quite flanked, but very soon he's going to be between you and the door.
All right, so I rolled a 3, plus 1 is 4. I believe that's pierced my armor.
Oh, yeah. So before I didn't have it pierced because he was using the stabby bit, but this will pierce because it's the axe, so it's piercing 1.
Piercing 1, okay. So I take 2 damage, I believe. Because I have 2 armor and my shield.
Yeah, so he rolled.
And I rolled, yeah, so it was 4 damage.
Yeah. Awesome. That's very good.
and what I drop on the way, I bump into someone on the street and get my legs tangled up in the end of my staff, and it just goes skittering across the street in the opposite direction. I look back over my shoulder, and it's just spinning there on a cobblestone behind me.
And that's your focus, right?
No. Wait. No.
No. Okay.
Spell focus is no, a certain type of school. No. Just checking. That's a good good question. I was going to commit to it anyway, but
Cool. All right, Dergrim, these guys are obviously trained. They know what they're doing. I mean, they've gotten blows in on you. That says a lot. So, how are you dealing with this? What are you going to do?
Does it look like Avon is clear at this point? Out of danger?
Outside.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna follow suit with Avon, though I'm not sure how it's gonna work out.
Yeah, remember that dwarf he's not quite between you and the door, but with that halberd, he's gonna at least get a swing at you and try and trip you up.
Okay.
and I tried to be predictable, at least so we'd be able to catch each other up later. The way that we came this way, I'm just circling the block to try and get back on the route that we approached from.
Okay. So is it Defy Danger Dex, or what am I?
Yeah, if you're just sprinting out the door, yeah.
That is a 9.
Hey, there we go. So you're gonna get what you want. You're gonna escape, but he's gonna get one more glancing blow. So D8, we won't do the piercing.
Okay. Oof. Okay, I roll a 7.
Ooh, that's -3. So you still.
So take 4.
Yeah, you can take a lot of punishment with how much armor you got. That's good.
So I have been marking every time we've been taking damage. I've been marking Gambit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll narrate first what my sprint out the door, how that works.
Yeah, go ahead. So I've kind of told you the results. You're going to be able to get away, and he's going to get a glancing blow. But you tell us what it looks like.
So I kind of look reluctantly back at the gold, but decide it's not worth killing 2 men for 5 gold. So I make a break for the door, and do my best to I raise my shield to block the halberd attack, and he ends up striking not with the blade of the axe, but with the lower bit, and gives me a good jab with it as I make my way out the door, and it'll probably leave a bruise. But I make it out the door, and running as fast as my little dwarven legs will carry me.
Sweet. Now, Gad, I assume you were close enough. You saw Avon. Did you just head on out with her?
I think I would wait to make sure Dergrim got out okay.
Okay. So you both are on your little legs headed out. Cool. I don't think there's anything more to really add. I guess maybe I'll add this, that the guards kind of like cursing and shaking their fist at you, and they say, if you Phoenicians come back here again, we've got your number. So they're it's very clear that they know who you were and that you were not welcome in the Masons Guild anymore.
As Dergrim rounds the corner, Avon's just like, and apparently that number is greater than 5, eh?
So, seems like you guys had a little bit of a rough time.
It was a distraction, wasn't it?
It worked very well, and I pull out the map.
Perfect.
I do hope that's a map of the Undercity.
Presumably. No, I mean, it was confirmed that it looked like a map of the tunnels, at least.
Let's take it back to the cohort's office and give it a review.
Cool. We'll take a 5-minute break here. Just checking in with the two of you who kind of have early mornings. What time were you planning on getting off tonight?
I think I'm good for another 30 minutes or so, maybe even a little longer. I just didn't want to. I'm confused on the time zones, but if if we're talking like 2 or 3 hours, I don't think I could swing that.
Let's see. I think we've been going almost an hour and a half. So, if we can do another 30 or 40 minutes, that's fine.
That's totally fine. I didn't want to do like 2 hours, but I think even an hour would be okay.
Cool.
Sure, I'm on board for any of those. I'm actually on board until the original time zone.
Okay.
I was just commiserating about travel and early mornings.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually surprised traveling that you were able to make this work. So that's impressive already.
So you're on the hotel Wi-Fi?
I am. Yeah, I know it worked out well enough. It's and then I'm going to be on a flight most of tomorrow, so I figure I'll just catch up on some sleep then. But
cool.
Yeah.
Let's take 5, and so I'll see you. It's 9:47 my time.
Okay.
Cool.
Just checking before we break. Do you think that turned Dergrim's ringleader key? He told me to run, and despite what I wanted to do, I actually took that advice. It was all part of his grand plan, right?
That sounds like it fits to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of also. I mean, I sort of had the plan of making the distraction and that piece too, which I don't know. I don't know if that was a difficult situation, but I think your example may be better.
I got hit with a stick knife.
I know. I almost wish that die would have landed a little higher, and we would have had that like cut through your arm or something.
Yeah. So the first dice I rolled, when I rolled the D10, it came up a D10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with taking like the 8 damage or whatever, maxing out a D8 instead, because it kind of lost its teeth when I re-rolled it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I'll see you guys in 5.
Okay.
Cool.
I was finally just reading you guys' chat from earlier about the Masons.
Can't trust those Masons.
I know. Well, I think of all the factions we've met, probably the Sacred Hand is the most Illuminati-like, but I couldn't resist throwing the Masons in here.
I like it. So it sounds like Sean wants to accept the 8 damage, make this a bit more cinematic.
Oh, did it? Oh. Okay. Yeah, if he wants to do that, he is more than welcome to. Okay.
I would probably, when we get back to the cohorts, what do we call is it our office? I'm forgetting what we were calling it, but
Hideout, office, HQ, we've called it like 10 different things.
The Phoenix Cave.
Yeah.
I would offer to bandage Avon's wounds.
Yeah, let's have that scene. I like that idea.
So Avon's got their arm tight against their body, and like one layer of robes is kind of like wrapped around it and pulled up to brace the arm. We get inside and gingerly unwrapping it, bracing elbow against the table. Like those deep breaths and that pale look on someone's face like they're about to pass out.
I go behind the bar and look for a strong drink that I can offer Avon, and I'm also my intent is to splash some in the wound to disinfect it.
One for me, one for me, one for you.
Should I just narrate that there's a? So I guess I'll find some equivalent of dwarven moonshine that maybe I've brewed myself, and almost pure alcohol, and I say we're gonna need to disinfect that before I bandage it. It's gonna hurt. Would you like a drink first?
With good arm, full tip straight up swig on the table, pushes it away slowly. Tastes like shit. You're gonna pour that in my arm?
Good enough for a dwarf. And to give you, I'll rip off a piece of cloth or something for you to bite on, as I splash some of the alcohol into your wound, and then quickly try to add compression and bandage it with the bandages. Probably it looks like I've done this once or twice before.
Well, you certainly know your way around a wound, just wincing and grimacing all the way through this. And still with some of that rag tucked in the corner of my mouth, so it comes out really mumbly. And you get in fights like that all the time.
Yes, I appreciate you looking out for me, but next time, let the blow hit the one of us wearing armor.
The idea was that it wouldn't hit either of us. But all the ideas go right out the window, don't they?
Yes, well, let's hope this map was worth the effort.
How's that looking, Ged?
Sorry? The map?
The map.
The map, yeah. Why we got roughed up a little bit. Yes, how's the map?
Well, what have I mean, I presume I've been looking at the map.
Yes.
What have I been able to?
As far as underground, as far as underground maps go, it's pretty detailed. It shows quite a few entrance and exit points. two that lead out of the city. Let me pull up my map again and share that with you guys, and then I'll kind of just point to what I'm thinking. All right, so what's going on here? Just stay normal size. Okay, we're good. Okay, so there's one tunnel that comes out this direction along this road, and then there's another tunnel that comes from here, but it goes way off the map that you have. You don't even see where it lets out. So this one probably lets out within a quarter mile of the city. The other one that bends south, it's not clear how far it goes.
Okay. Okay, so we've got there appear to be two tunnels we may be able to access that could get the pale moon into the city. There's this one that I point to. I describe what you described, basically. Although I am really curious about this other one, and I want to know where that goes. Either way, we should investigate before giving this information to Ishtar.
Well, I wouldn't mind a good walk down a tunnel to see where it leads.
So I'll say this: Bolster doesn't get used very often in Dungeon World, at least the games that I've ever been in. Are you guys familiar with Bolster?
I am, but you're right. I don't know that I've ever actually used it.
That's fine. So basically, if you take some time preparing for an event, you guys will basically get a hold that you can spend before a roll to give you +1. Spend, I think it's about 3 or 5 days preparing, you get 1. If you spend a week and a half, 2 weeks, you get 2, and a month, you get 3, right? So you guys probably are out of the time frame to get that many, but if you do want to spend some of the time that you have before the Horde gets here, which is estimated about 3 weeks, you can do that.
So bolstering our preparation for venturing into these tunnels. So what you're...
Sounds good to me. We can spend I think we have a week to spare.
Yeah.
Yes,
now,
perhaps.
Ishtar was expecting you guys to get a message back to him tomorrow night, which is the night of the full moon, which is also happens to be election day. So keep that in mind in the back of your heads.
Well, it'd probably be good to give him a status update anyway.
See if we can ring him up on the mirror.
I need to grab my battery charger, guys. One sec.
Are you thinking of sending him a message now? Is that what I was hearing, Yvonne?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we'll put our heads together and try and sum up what we've learned so far to get a nice succinct message across, and what our plan will be.
I was just going to show him the map.
Is he here?
Well, no, but if we call him up in the mirror.
I don't even know if we can. It's been a little while since I've tried to use one of these things.
Oh. You're the magic person.
Yeah, let's have you roll your intelligence to interact with this mirror. See if you can get it to do what you want it to do.
Roll for party. This is okay. You know what? I have enough XP. I should level up. As I'm doing that, I can bump a stat and take a move. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so during our downtime here is less or equal to 17. Yep. It's going to sneak in as a 7.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah. Yeah, because you had the XP beforehand.
Yeah.
Cool. So you will be able to contact. You'll be able to contact the correct mirror to communicate with Ishtar. Trying to think of what an interesting drawback might be. If you guys have any suggestions, throw them in here. Because basically, he's projecting, or sorry, Avon is projecting themselves into this mirror, right? And so she's kind of like traveling ethereally to his mirror.
Mm-hmm. I'll reach out for Ged's map at some point and like push it up against the mirror if I can from our side. Assuming that we can reach the other end of the tunnel here.
Cool.
Or the other end of the ethereal connection.
Yeah. So it kind of phases through. You see, you would recognize his study. You've been in it before. He kind of travels on a moving yurt. His tent never gets taken down. And he's there. And he says, "News so soon. What is it, Avon?"
We've been busy, Ishtar. We've been doing so much. Even the ones who had misgivings about your initial plan are on board, and we're making great headway on the side here, sir.
I'll pretend I didn't hear the bit about misgivings. My plans are great.
Absolutely the best plans. Huge plans, yes. So we've dug around a little bit. We've tried to find some inroads for getting messages up the chain towards the city council. And we've also been looking downwards below the city. Ged's come away with a map with tunnels, so if it comes down to it, we can bring at least some of the Pale Moon directly into the city, bypassing the walls and bypassing a true skirmish outside.
Excellent indeed. Can you show... Oh, no, you can't, because it's your spirit that's went through the mirror. Sorry. We'll need you to mark the entrance that the troops will come through. What kind of signal will you leave there for us? Something subtle, but not too subtle that we miss it.
I have something in mind. I'll make sure that you know before the armies arrive.
You've done well, Avon. I can sense a command in your future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he'll just kind of end the connection there, and you're thrust back into your body. What does that feel like, having your spirit disconnected from your body and suddenly back in?
When you realize you've had too many beers before you jumped in the shower. That sudden realization that things are a few degrees too far to one side, and yeah.
Cool.
But basically just like toppled back into a chair as I fall back away from the mirror.
Yeah, Dergrim's probably thinking, "Oh, not again." So just to be clear, earlier, Dergrim, when you were caring for Avon, did you want to use some of your bandages to heal him up?
I was going to use one bandage, yep.
Cool. Go ahead and mark that, and then make sure you take the XP or the HP increase there, Avon.
Sure. Does that bring me back up to full, or is that roll?
I think it's +4, but we're also you're gonna have some rest as well, probably between.
Right. We've got some downtime.
But fictionally, I felt like it made sense.
Sure, I could swap that out for a condition. I'm in like no, even with bandages and a health potion or something like that, I still got my arm gouged wide open. So,
I mean, it would make sense to me if you wanted to take the weak condition for now.
okay,
It affects your strength.
yeah, I'll throw that on there. I'll just HP back to full. We've got a couple days to rest.
So
Yeah,
I've got
so-
an idea for the Boister move.
Yeah.
There could be other pieces to this, but trying to work in the pack bear. This is actually a juvenile cave bear from my homeland. So they're known for navigating very complex tunnel systems and not getting lost. So my preparation will be doing what I can to prepare get the bear comfortable with knowing where we're at now, so that it could bring us back to this place if we get lost.
So how long are you guys going to spend? Are you guys going to spend a full week so you get a +2, or just a few days so you get that +1 forward?
I'm fine with either.
I was just going to do the few days, but if you guys think
Let's do a few days then.
If we had more to pour over, I'd say a week. But yeah, 3 days to study a map really well.
Yeah. Well, I would like to investigate where the in-city entrance to the tunnel is, and just sort of case that to see if it'll be difficult to get in there from our side to go exploring in the first place.
Yeah, I think that kind of rolls into the bolster. So we've already gotten it from Dergrim. Why don't the other two of you kind of just fictionally say what kinds of things you're doing to prepare? So if you want to stake out a couple of the entrances, because I don't know if I was clear about it, but there's quite a few, 8 or more entrances or outlets into the city. So if you want to stake out a few of those, is that what you want to do while you're preparing?
Yeah, I want to find at least one that we can get into no trouble or little trouble.
Cool. And how about Avon?
I'm spending a good chunk of this week with one of my books, just inscribing the hand logo on page after page after page in ink that you wouldn't notice immediately, and it would just blend into the background of the lore pages. But I'm preparing to use that as a breadcrumb trail back through the tunnels.
Cool. I like it. Okay, let's see. I forgot. I know we talked about time, but how much more time do you have left, Brian? 20 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it works. That's fine.
Okay. So maybe we'll just make our first couple of movements into the tunnels, and then we'll do end of session, and that way we can get our sword fighter back with us. Cool. So, Ged, I'll let you take the lead since you've been scoping out these tunnels. How do you time this? What's your way into the tunnel?
Again, I just wanted to throw an idea out there. You can choose to use this or not, but with your ectoplasmic suit, if we know where the tunnels are and you're standing above said tunnel, I'm wondering if you could just ectoplasm straight down into the you wouldn't need any, there wouldn't have to be a specific entrance. You could just drop in anywhere.
That seems within my suit's capabilities.
Yeah, I think so. That's great.
Okay. I mean, to one end, to open the tunnel up for you, or just to investigate, and because I can't bring you guys.
Yeah, I guess if it's helpful in casing the entrances, I don't know exactly what what they might be like. It may be easier to case them from inside and see where they lead out to.
Yeah, I'll say this much about the tunnels: is the Masons Guild do patrol them, not like heavily, but there are guards posted every once in a while. So, Ged, you would definitely be appraised of that, and maybe you use this phasing thing to just double check before everybody jumps in that it's clear or something.
Yeah. I think I have a couple days to case these tunnels. I think I would be using that to investigate and try to figure out when a good time to go would be, so we could avoid guards, or if we have to encounter some guards, encounter as few as possible, so it's easier to kill them.
Cool. Let's have a defy danger with your intelligence to see how well you were able to judge that.
That's an 11 total.
Yeah. So as you phase down into whichever entrance you chose, you check both directions up and down the tunnel. There's one offshoot that you remember to check, and there are no guards in sight, so you can give them a signal if you'd like.
I do that.
Out of curiosity, what is the signal?
I think I don't know, I think I have some sort of like some sort of flashlight flare-y thing, not like just
Like
something that just something that I can like something on one of my gadgets that like has a light coming out that I can uncover, and that's the signal.
Cool.
Maybe I flash it a bit.
Cool. So yeah, you guys are able. You know where the entrance is. You're able to get in, and let's say it's like a grate that you pull up or something, and then put back down behind you. What's the first step in your plan of exploring the tunnels here?
Well, I wanted to go see what was at where the really long tunnel led out. So
okay, so that's where
seemed like we agreed on that. So yeah, I think we just sort of follow the tunnel and look for things that are interesting.
Cool. Let's close there so we can have a couple of minutes to debrief, and then we'll pick up in this tunnel system next time. I'm gonna stop the broadcast. Oh no, let's do our experience and stuff on broadcast, and then if we have a few minutes afterwards, we'll spin that off. All right, so let's skip to Avon because Ged, you just had a couple minutes of spotlight. Avon, I know you called out some of your keys, but just to clarify, which keys did you turn and who helped you with them?
Early on, when I was using the town crier to repeat and project my disinformation, that's the key of the meddler. Set it up so it's self-propagating, and it's an infectious meme of an idea that that other candidate is working against the city. And for Dergrim, his ringleader, tried to play along and make sure that scene was about his plan going off.
Okay. But Trickster and Provocateur, you didn't turn either of those, right?
I'm not sure if I'm able to double down on them.
Yeah, because they're kind of rolling out of the same fiction.
Yeah, it's choosing which one to pick from. False information I've divulged, someone acts accordingly. Yeah, I was going to do something to change something permanent when Dergrim was trying to get out of the building, but he told me to run, so I did that instead.
Cool. Well, let's go to Dergrim. Which keys did you turn?
Yeah, I think I turned Key of the Ringleader, and I think Avon was critical in that. Well, I mean, it depends which one we're. I guess the Ged was sort of also integral to the earlier one. So I'm thinking. I don't know, which one do you guys think is the better example of that key?
Oh, you're saying because you kind of made the plan in the first place where he snuck up into the top room.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if it says difficult situation, so maybe we were in a bit more of a difficult situation the second time.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So to hand it to Avon instead because it was more of a challenging situation. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
I don't know if I acted despite a terrifying obstacle. And I stood in defense of Avon. I don't know if that was a terrifying obstacle.
You did start a fight with 3 people, including 2 trained warriors, just for the sake of...
Yeah, upholding my honor.
Yeah, losing face to that dwarf, I think, is what you said.
Trying to count every penny.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Dwarves.
Okay, fair enough. And I guess that one was sort of a solo key.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't think I passed judgment on anyone.
Okay.
Or justice.
All right, Ged, how about yours?
I think I probably hit. I don't know. Key of the Cunning, maybe. In terms of figuring out the part of the Going Ghost to find a map.
Yeah.
I think, and I don't think like the Futurist was relevant, and Key of the Curious might be turned pretty soon, but I don't think that was turned either.
So when I put that fancy set of tools in front of you, Key of the Curious is what I had in mind. I wondered if you would try and turn the key by getting caught, or potentially getting caught there, grabbing the tools.
Yeah.
So,
scared.
I don't blame you, especially because you knew kind of what was going on downstairs.
Yeah.
So with the Key of the Cunning, that seemed like more of a whole group thing. I don't think there was anybody in particular to give an XP to, right?
That's fair.
Okay. Cool. Well, make sure you guys all marked the XP correctly there. I think almost everybody helped somebody, and almost everybody turned at least one of theirs. So, and then Adventure Other. Did we learn something new and interesting about the world?
We confirmed that there's a tunnel network that extends beyond the city walls.
Yeah, that's big. Did we defeat a notable enemy?
Defeat is such a loaded word.
Overcame? No, yeah, I
Ran
don't
away from?
Survive? Yeah, I don't think so. Let's see. And then the third one.
Memorable loot.
Yeah, did we lose
Yes.
something memorable?
I don't know what our bar is for memorable loot, but we did get a map of the Undercity, yeah.
I think that's pretty memorable.
Yeah, it's up to you.
I mean, yeah,
fine.
it took a full team coordination to get it, so.
Yeah. Cool. All right, so you guys got 2 for Adventure Other, and I'll make sure that give that to Marquis as well. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast now.